Alright, imagine if one day I came up to you guys and I told you you can no longer attend school. That all the sleepless nights, all the all-nighters, all the stressful nights were for nothing. You'd be mad, right? Well, that's the case for many students in the US right now. By the end of the speech, it is my hope that you will have understood why this program that I'll be talking to you about is of such importance to this generation's youth and why we should keep enforcing it. DACA is a program that was created with the intention to give every child the equal opportunity to further their education and ultimately be named a deeming member of society after high school. Um, for 12 years, we were told to go to school, get good grades, and then after, the ultimate goal would be college. Students were raised on the idea that good grades transition to college and you would eventually enter and further your education. What they weren't told was that it doesn't apply to everyone. DACA is a program that gave undocumented students the chance to further their education after high school and gave them temporary relief from deportation. Allowed students to go to school for free for 12 years, and once those 12 years were up, undocumented students no longer had access to FAFSA or Pell Grants for other reasons, so they were faced with the roadblock and couldn't further their education after. Although there's no written rule that says universities can't give admission to undocumented students, so there are other roadblocks that stand in their way, such as financial issues and lack of work because of their lack of documents. Through DACA, students were able to get social security numbers, which helped them apply for FAFSA and Pell Grants, and along with DACA, it also helped them enter the workforce, not necessarily just education. Students and citizens or undocumented immigrants weren't able to work before because of their lack of social security. Those who entered the workforce later reported having better working conditions that were suitable for their education and training, meaning they weren't going to school, getting good grades, and then working a minimum wage job. With the social security, they were able to further their education and ultimately get the job that they wished for. DACA was seen as a gateway for students to integrate into the workforce and play a role as an active citizen and eventually benefit the economy in the long run too. Students who entered the workforce reportedly bought cars, houses, took out loans, and contributed to the economy in more ways than one. Large companies such as Apple, Walmart, and Amazon also employ undocumented workers and DACA recipients. Children who qualify have to go through a series of conditions. You have to be 16. You have to have came here before your 16th birthday. You have to live in the U.S. since June of 2007, and you have to have been born before after 1981. Many come at a young age. Some have a say, and some students don't have a say. The kids without a say, they trust in their parents. They come at a young age. They come in hopes of a better future, which is the American dream that their parents have for them. Many students who come here without a say are often older, stay with family members, bounce back and forth, come on a personal choice for school or for a better work future. Children brought here are taught to adapt and assimilate to U.S. culture and customs. They adapt to their traditions and they hold the same experience as any other student for the first 12 years. They grow up in a system where there's no labels, no one's called illegal aliens. They're not portrayed to be the way the media portrays them to be. Everyone is seen differently. You wouldn't know the person next to you if they had the proper documents or not. By using the terms illegal aliens, which is what the media uses to classify these undocumented immigrants as, it emphasizes their exclusion here in the U.S., which it lowers their will and drive to progress as a minority group. Students growing up see their parents struggle and use it as motivation. Many of them go on and become first-generation students in their family to graduate high school, attend college, and ultimately graduate college. Many of these students grew up with the dream to become doctors, lawyers, teachers, etc., and DACA gave them the opportunity to do that. Nonetheless, has been said that the best things in life don't come easy, and the best things are often the hardest to obtain. For many immigrants, the emphasis on importance on education is seen through the values that these parents try to install in these kids. In order to give their kids the best possible future, these parents, they themselves are undocumented immigrants, endure and overcome struggles such as adversity, racism, and discrimination all throughout the workforce and in society. These parents go through all these struggles and endure whatever they have to do, all for the success of their children to get the best possible education that they possibly can. Growing up and being raised, me personally, by an immigrant mother, I was taught on the foundation that education was the basis of all basic success. That without education, you can't reach your full potential here. You know, you can, but just be a lot harder. I'm often minded to take advantage of the opportunities many don't have. Same way I grew up around immigrant parents and immigrant family members. I have immigrant friends, undocumented friends, and the same way I've seen them progress and overcome obstacles that they've had to get to where they're at. I've seen them become successful in prestigious universities such as Berkeley, Santa Cruz, Stanford, 4 years, all around. And the same way I've seen them reach their highest point in their educational career, I've also seen them at their lowest. On September 5th, 2017, DACA was renounced by the Department of Justice Committee, which in many ways in one brought down the morale that these students had to further their education. They feel as if their education meant nothing to the U.S. and to society and to this government. Now that I'm at this milestone in my life and I'm attending college, I'm often minded to take advantage of the opportunity that those don't have as me. Growing up, I worked with many different minority groups. I've worked with many undocumented workers, and they all come down to the same thing, and they tell me in Spanish, échale ganas, which means keep going, give it a go out, because through them I see, and they tell me themselves, that you don't want to work as hard as we do. You want to go out, you want to get an education, and you want to do your best to break the stereotype that we have as undocumented immigrants. And that's something that DACA that's something that DACA was based on, to ultimately help students do something with their life, and either through education or through the workforce. DACA opened a gateway for many students for higher education. Most of the students were stunned when they saw that DACA was renounced. They felt as if their education was of no importance. At the end of the day, all these students want an equal opportunity to fully succeed in the an education system where they felt can't fail them. Together as a society, we can do our part, and we can help these students by creating ways and methods to help them succeed by overcoming adversity. We can do this through resource programs, scholarship programs, and supporting any movement there is to help these students. DACA was designed to benefit the youth of this nation, and it has been proven to do so. The present youth that we have now is the future of our nation, and we should do everything we have in our power to get them to overcome these roadblocks instead of putting more in their way. I want to end. The concept of DACA for many was far beyond a program towards citizenship. For many, it was a gateway that led them to finally reaching their goals that they had set forth for themselves and by their parents. It was a program designed to give undocumented students the chance at a better life after high school, which is the highest level that the government here gives you on a free basis. Through these programs, students sought refuge and used it to further their education and professional goals in the workforce. Through this program, we've made progress as a nation. We've opened doors for students to enter the workforce. The present youth that we have now is the future for this nation. And I leave you all with a quote by Harriet Tubman, and this is for all the dreamers. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength and patience and passion to reach for the stars and change the world. So together as a nation, we should do everything we can, and as a society, to help these students reach their full potential.
Cheers.